and I were excited. Well, we have a legend joining us who's as excited as all of us. Sunil Gavaskar joins us live on this broadcast. Sunil bhai, I know that you will be traveling to Navi Mumbai and you'd be watching that game live. I hope you're carrying all the good luck and the best wishes with you for the women in blue.
Definitely, yes, everything. I think not just me. I think the whole country that follows the game is, very excited. Praying for this win because they played some exceptional cricket. Our girls have played some exceptional cricket, particularly in the semi-final. But again, just before that, against New Zealand as well. New Zealand is a top team, and the way they beat New Zealand and then went on to beat Australia. Gives us all the hope that, today will be the big day for our women.
Okay, Saima, the game is not in Mumbai where you reside. It's in Navi Mumbai, a fair distance away. But if you take a look at that particular stadium, the Indian women's team, I think it'll be their fourth game here of the tournament. They've won 3 out of the 4 that they've played here. Whereas for the South African team, it is the first time that they'll be playing in this tournament at Navi Mumbai. How do you think that'll play out when it comes to a big final?
Please don't make this as an excuse for anybody. We've seen this earlier on in the Champions Trophy when India played at Dubai. The overseas media was making a big deal about they only played in one place. That's the luck of the draw. That is the luck of the draw. It's as simple as that. And if our girls have played more matches than South Africa, then that again is just the luck of the draw. So. Let's just hope that nobody tries to make that into an issue.
Not looking at it as an excuse, Saima, but the familiarity of the ground, does that make a difference? I know, it is the luck of the draw. Eventually, the game will be played on a pitch that the Indian team has played. Does it make it difficult for the team that's playing for the first time? Or do you think, no, in a big final, all of this doesn't matter?
It does. It does make a bit of a difference, definitely, because, there's the confidence factor. As you said, the familiarity factor, where you know exactly what the ground is all about. You know exactly where the breeze will be coming in from, at what time. And, I just looked out of the window and the rains have stopped. It's been quite raining this side of Mumbai in the morning, but the rains have stopped. The skies have cleared. And when I was asking friends who reside over there, they said it's cloudy in Navi Mumbai, but it hasn't rained. So hopefully the rains will stay away. So, the wind factor, because you're looking to bowl your last 3-4 overs where the wind, where you're maybe slightly less accomplished bowler is, not bowling into the wind, but bowling with the wind, because then it becomes difficult for the batter to hit the sixes, particularly if there's a strong breeze, because the wind will make the ball not really go the distance. So I think those are things that, India will be more familiar with, having played there a few more times. So yes, I think that would be a big advantage.
Okay, so that's an advantage for India. Now I'm taking a look at the other side as well. South Africa have had an extra day of rest. They knew well in advance that they'll be playing a final. India, on the other hand, have played a final where many will say a lot had to be given. I'm sure they gave their best. As we saw it panned out versus Australia. After that high of Australia, after giving their best, there is a bit of a fear there. 1 day less of rest, plus the amount of effort that went into winning that very closely fought semi-final. Does that play a role? Because my mind takes me back to that 2017 World Cup, similar scenario. India beat Australia in a stunning semi-final, but had 1 day less when it was compared with the English team in the final. And then on the final day, the Indian team weren't really up to the mark. Do you think that is something that you need to be worried about? And if you are to be worried about it, how do you prepare then with 1 day gap when it comes to this final?
Once again, luck of the draw. Luck of the draw, where India had to play the second semis. So that's a luck of the draw as well. But I don't think it will make much of a difference. The final has a different feel to it. You go to the ground knowing that, you are blessed to be and privileged and honored to be representing your country in a final. You want to give your best. Sometimes there will be nerves, and it's good to have nerves. It's good to have butterflies in your stomach. But I don't think they will be thinking in terms of the fact that, we had 1 day less rest and stuff like that. I don't think so at all. I don't think they should be thinking too far ahead. They should be like Harmanpreet, the Indian skipper, just said in the media conference that, stay in the moment, which is very, very important. But I don't think, this one day less of rest is going to make much of a difference.
Could the toss make a difference? That's going to be my next question. And I'm thinking of asking you about the toss, and then I'm like, the Indian team is not winning tosses when it comes to the men's game as well as the women's game. So I don't know. But in case it happens to be the lucky day for the Indian women's team, they win the toss, what do you do in a final? Now, that's again a very difficult question to answer, because there is a school of thought that says, in a big final, just put the runs on board. There's always pressure while chasing. But then we saw there is a lot of dew as well that you get in Navi Mumbai. Chasing sometimes is advantages. And if it's a rain-curtailed game, then while chasing, you know exactly if the target is being revised. So that really works in your favor. What does the team do in case they win the toss? What would you like the Harmanpreet Kaur to do if they were to win that toss?
You got it absolutely right. I think more than anything else, it's not the dew or anything. I'm more concerned about the possibility of rain coming and, making it into a shortened game. In which case, the team batting second, unless the team batting first has piled up a massive score, the team batting second, generally, if they've got wickets in hand, or when they begin their innings, obviously they have 10 wickets in hand, it becomes a little more easy for them. Because they know at what rate they need to score. They also know if the overs are reduced, who's going to bowl how many overs from the opposition. So if a better bowler who would normally bowl 10 overs will now be bowling only 7 overs, that makes you feel, right, you have a little more advantage over there. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. But if the weather forecast for the evening is good, I would say go by the old, saying win the toss and bat first, put the runs on the board.
Okay. We'll keep a track on the weather as well. In fact, we'll have a representative from the ground joining us live very shortly, and we'll give you the latest update. But Sai, going back to that Indian team, one decision is about, of course, the toss. The other will be about the playing 11. They got in Shafali a bit raw because she wasn't part of the tournament before this. We saw her in the game versus Australia, underwhelmed there. What do you do now in the big final? You gamble with a Shafali, or there was a Harleen that you had, maybe bring her in as well. She batted at number 3 throughout the tournament, maybe push her to open. And she had a mixed bag of a tournament so far, but at least someone who's played the tournament. What do you do? Go with Shafali, the big gamble, or bring in Harleen for this game?
Shafali's got the big shots. So in a game like this, I would like to go with Shafali, because Shafali can change the game around in the first 45 minutes itself. If she can, curb her over enthusiasm, she's got all the shots in the book. But sometimes she gets a little too carried away after she hits the one ball for a 6. She wants to go for another one. So I think if she can just curb that, then I would think that she will play an innings that could change the game. So I would like to think that go with somebody like Shafali, because you've got the classy informed Smriti Mandhana at the other end, and Jemima having got that brilliant 100, sticks at number 3. So if you're going to have Harleen there, at the top of the order, which is probably not her usual position, while Shafali has been an opening bat. So I'd like to go with a regular opening bat.
Okay, regular opener is what Mr. Gavaskar would want in this particular final. The only other area that probably the Indian team would be thinking about would be, last time they went in that semi-final with a batter less. They got Radha Yadav, but that gave them an additional spinning option. They've also got Sneh Rana, who's a spinner, who's played this entire tournament, but gives you a bit of batting at number 8. What would you be more comfortable with? Something that they did in the semi-final, batting ends at 7, but 6 bowling options, or go with a Sneh Rana, who gives you bowling and 6 bowling options, but batting at number 8 as well?
Yeah, good question. I think in a game like this, because what we saw from Radha was that she considered a couple of 6s in the final over, so that became a bit when you concede 13, 15 runs in the last couple of overs, that suddenly from defending something from chasing something like 300, 310, you're suddenly chasing 335. So I think that is something that they'll have to look at. But mind you, Sneh Rana also is pretty similar kind of bowler. She likes to toss the ball up. Our spinners generally, tend to bowl, give the ball a lot of air. And against, batters who can be powerful hitters like the South Africans, Australians, they can be taken for 6s. So that is an area that they really need to get their length right, even if they continue to toss the ball up. They need to get their length right. So, but it's a tough call. I wouldn't know what to do, honestly, between the two. But you know, you generally don't want to change, winning combinations.
Okay, final question, Saima, before we let you go. What is your mind and your heart telling? I mean, kudos to South Africa as well. They made it to the final. One thing is for sure, you're going to have a first-time champion, first ever final, which does not feature either Australia or England. You're going to have a first-time winner in this particular World Cup. What is it that you're gauging right now, looking at India's performance, looking at South Africa's performance? One thing that we did see with South Africa, they beat India in the league stage, but they've had two horrendous games. 197 all-out versus Australia, 169 all-out versus England. So they can have outstanding days, but they can have bad days as well. How do you see this encounter?
Well, I mean, my heart, as you asked me, my heart says India. But my mind says to me, that don't forget that the South African men's team won the World Test Championship, the first ever world title that they won. So 2025 is a year which has been good for South Africa in cricket. So my mind says just be a little, careful of that. Heart says, of course, that India should be winning. So let's see whether it's the heart or the mind that is going to be right.
Okay, you've left us on tenterhooks, Saibhai, by saying that we don't know now, how to really look at this encounter. But we all knew it's going to be a close contest. It's a 50-50 encounter between two teams that have done very well, two teams that have suffered setback in this tournament but have bounced back very well to have made it to the final. Should be a cracking game. Mr. Gavaskar is going to be live at the stadium. We'll, of course, have him join us back at the end of the game to analyze, however, the match really pans out. Thank you so much, sir, for taking our time, speaking to us here on India Today.